Biafra, where you dey? We dey wait for you to come our way. Simon Ekpa, you dey fight like lion, keeping Biafra safe from Zion. Oh mama Biafra, your children they cry. Finland free our prime minister, we no go lie. Our enemy they try to annihilate. Free am now before it's too late. Freedom no be small something. Now waiting we dey demand without fronting. Biafra land we want them strong. We Simon Ekpa, we go march along. From the east to the west we dey shout, Mama Biafra, yeah, I'll call no doubt. Enemies close, but we stand up tall. Together we rise, we no go follow. Oh Mama Biafra, your children they cry. Finland free our prime minister, we no go lie. Our enemy they try to annihilate. Free am now before it's too late. In unity we go dey strive, fight for freedom we go alive. With courage and strength we dey fight. Mama Biafra, our guiding light. Your children they cry. Finland free our prime minister, we no go lie. Our enemy they try to annihilate. Free am now before it's too late. Freedom no be small something. Now waiting we dey demand without fronting. Biafra land we want them strong. Simon Ekpa, we go march along. From the east to the west we dey shout, Mama Biafra, yeah, I call no doubt. Enemies close but we stand tall. Together we rise, we no go fall.
Instigate, Maka Biafra, we're putara ni onye ndu here Simon Eba
Witness me, I want to remain in the spirit because we must worship heaven. We answer your name, O Lord of hosts. Everything about us is designed to offer glory unto thee. We have atoned for our sins last year. This very year we have not only atoned for our sins, we have sealed, we have shed blood, they have shed our blood. We have let our sacrifice be made unto thee. Even on the 30th of August, as we are being felled by the bullets of the enemy, by the workers of iniquity and of darkness, we remain very strong today to beckon upon thee, to ask you for your mercy and for your grace, to ensure that your kingdom is restored upon the face of the earth, that you can bring your healing hand to bear upon the life of those of them that you created for one singular purpose, and that purpose alone, which is to worship you in truth and in every honesty. Is there any way that we have erred? Is there any way that our ancestors may have sinned? We confess before a congregation of the whole of humanity to ask you, oh Lord of hosts, to have mercy on us. You must have mercy upon us. We have suffered enough. We have been subjugated enough. We have been tortured enough. We have been imprisoned enough. We did not do these people anything. Our only crime is to answer your name. Our only crime is to be born your children. Our only crime is to excel at everything that we place our hands into. Our only crime is to exhibit your glory and your blessing, which manifestedly is upon our lives every blessed day. That is why they want to kill us. That is why the British want to join those of them who don't know you to destroy your creation and your inheritance. You will not allow shame to befall your name. You will not allow the enemies to triumph over the lives of your children, because you created us to exist, to worship, to honor, and to praise you. That is exactly what we are going to do when this Biafra comes. It will come in truth and in every honesty, because we remain every blessed day whiter than white and whiter than snow. Is there any way that we have sinned that you cannot forgive us our trespasses, to enable us to fulfill your own word, which was spoken thousands of years ago, that instead of what you promised not to come to pass, that heaven and earth will cease to exist? You opened your mouth to bless mankind to the coming of Yahweh Yeshua, who came here and said, let your kingdom come on earth as it is in heaven. Those words can never be in vain, because they are anchored upon your holiness and your magnificence. That is why in the end we know that Biafra will come, that these children that we have given birth to all over the world, and their children, and their children, and their children, as long as they give birth to them and they are Biafrans, they will worship you in truth and honesty. Through this very work we are doing, mankind will come to understand you. Let your miracle be wrought in our lives. Let us witness and behold your magnificence, your holiness, your mystery, and your grace under our command. O Lord of hosts, we call upon you. We call upon you to heal. We call upon you to provide succor to those of them who are inconsolable. We ask you to come and strengthen those who are weak. We ask you to restore hope where there is hopelessness. We ask you for inclusion where there is destitution. We ask you for one brotherhood, one camaraderie, one bone, one blood, and one flesh of your children. The Efiks and the Bibios, the Izon, the Shekiri, the Isobos, and also those of them from Isoto. We are traveling all the way to the lands of Igala. We are moving on from there to Idoma, to Igede, to the territories of the Igbo land. All these places we dedicate unto thee. All these lands of yours, we ask you to cover it with your mercy, because Biafra will come, and when it does, we will dance on the streets. I'm telling you, by the time that we are done, humanity will think that we are mad, we are drunk in your glory, and rightfully so, because your kingdom will come to rest upon this very earth. That very kingdom is the unadulterated, non-negotiable sovereignty of the Republic of Biafra, that your will may be fulfilled in our time. All this we pray, all this we ask for, in no other name apart from that name that belongs to you. He said,
unless you understand your role in society, you can never ever make any meaningful contribution. According to the Greeks, there are three types of people on this earth: the idiots, the tribesmen, and the citizens. People don't know the meaning of the word idiot. They think it's an insult. It's not an insult. When the Greeks used the word idiots, they did not use it as a curse word. Idiots are people who just do not care. That is the original meaning of the word. If they write exams, they will cheat. If they are in government, they will steal. An idiot does not care at all. If he eats banana, he throws the peel anywhere instead of putting it in a trash can. According to the Greeks, some societies have more idiots than tribesmen and citizens. As I used to say before, Nigeria is full of idiots. Idiots.
I want to let the world understand what the so-called founding fathers of the Zoological Republic actually said about Nigeria. Since 1914, the British government has been trying to make Nigeria into one country, but the Nigerian people themselves are historically different in their backgrounds, in their religious beliefs and customs. They do not show themselves any sign of willingness to unite. Nigerian unity is only a British invention. Alhaji Sir Abubakar Tafawa Balewa, 1948, a founding father of Nigeria. The second one, Nigeria is not a nation. It is a mere geographical expression. There are no Nigerians in the same sense as there are English, Welsh, or French. The word Nigeria is a mere distinctive appellation to distinguish those who live within the boundaries of Nigeria and those who do not. Chief Obafemi Awolowo, 1947. Now, lastly, let me tell you what Nnamdi Azikiwe said in 1964 after the so-called independence of Nigeria. It is better for us and many admirers abroad that we should disintegrate in peace and not in pieces. Then, should the politicians fail to heed this warning, then I will venture the prediction that the experience of Democratic Republic of Congo, which is Katanga, will be a chance play if ever it comes to our turn to play such a tragic role. These are the historical facts that nobody can deny. We have it in abundance. So, their three founding fathers have, none of them actually believed in one Nigeria. All their founding fathers. But tomorrow now, you see Guardian, right, the founding father. Our founding fathers will be disappointed. But your founding fathers never believed in one Nigeria. It is here now.
So in the coming weeks and months, men and women are going to die. But after that, Biafra shall be restored. China have agreed to sell weapons to Nigeria. They have also signed an agreement to supply Nigeria with weapons. The Nigerian government recruited 3 hardened terror groups to fight this very battle for them. Al-Shabaab, they are in and around Lagos and Yoruba land. They are the ones to lead the attack against Yoruba people. The main strike force of Al-Qaeda in the Maghreb, they are advancing through Benue. They will enter into Kogi. From there, they will come into Anambra and Enugu. Whereas the main Boko Haram front, led by this same government, they are coming from Ebu. But their base is in Bauchi, they are coming from Bauchi. That's where the armor, that is where the tanks are that they have given to them with which to kill people. Because they have promised them the oil and gas in Biafra land. And that Allah gave Nigeria to Fulani people. The Fulanis have come to take over our land. And we have said to them that they're not going to do it. We are not going to allow them to do it. Not now, not tomorrow, not ever. And the sooner they understand this, the better for everybody. Because one thing that the Janjaweed must bear in mind is this.
A child of 20 pounds. I am a product and a survival of children and the generation that were starved to death. And I am very, very angry. I'm very, very angry. Instead of that we cannot get this Biafra, I will turn to a beast. I will turn to a beast. I will become a beast. You see those children that you see, you count their ribs. You count their ribs and their stomach are big. You see their stomach swelling up every day. We came from them. This generation of Biafra, we come from them. We come from their survivors. And you know, I will be a beast. Most of you who claim you own businesses everywhere in Nigeria, for that reason, you want everybody to die. Nobody is above death. Death is going to visit everybody. Just have to pray that you live and make impact in this life. The impact that matters now, as far as Nigeria is concerned, is not the impact to make people millionaires. It is impact to make people to be alive. It is impact to make people to feel secure. It is impact to make people feel they are free. That is the biggest impact you can make. Millions are going to come. People will become millionaires when they are alive. Of what use is it? You made somebody millionaire today and tomorrow he died by gunshot from Fulani. Of what use will it be to the society? You pick up somebody and send him abroad and he come back to Nigeria and police will kill him. It is happening every day. Why do you want to continue to be part of a country like that? Why? We are not the one bringing violence to Nigeria state. Rather, Nigeria aggression must be responded with aggression. That aggression is self-defense.
Only one under his leadership, His Excellency Simon Ekpa. Anybody that is confusing anyone or telling you there is another, no, there is nothing. There's just one, recognized by His Excellency Simon Ekpa. And we can pray. Once he has that communication, Biafrans, we understand that Obato Obie does not take no crap from nobody. No matter who you are, you must respect that authority. That authority is the only thing that can protect all of us. But we thank God, somebody said this is a transition period. If these things does not happen, Biafrans will not know who is following our prime minister, who wants him to fail, who wants him to be out. So this moment is ordained to happen so that Biafrans will know who is who in this restoration process. So on that note, I welcome everyone to this fundraising. The finance department is going to figure out state administrators. Those that feel they do not want to follow the path of Obatopie, we also welcome them to quietly and peacefully leave the United States of Biafra. Biafra promotes freedom of association. You are free to go with whomever you want to be with. That is a basic right. We are not going to take it away from you. You are free to associate yourself with whom you want to. But what we are not going to allow is being able to disrupt what we are doing. Being able to use the platforms established by Obotobie to promote your chaos and your divisive nature. Allowing you to use the plans, the maps, the regions that Obatobie has set up to continue to disorganize, disinform our people. We are not going to allow you to do that. But as long as you following whoever calls you on the phone privately, it is okay to go with those individuals. And Biafrans, we truly support you to do that. That is called freedom of association, which United States of Biafra guarantees. There are charters that we signed during our declaration in Finland. And one of that is the basic human right of individuals to associate with whomever they want to. But you cannot do that under the United States of Biafra. There is only one United States of Biafra. Under one command, His Excellency the Prime Minister, Simon Ekpa, represented by my humble self, Dr. Orabueze. Anything outside this, we wish you luck, but please leave any platform that either myself or Obatobie has established. You can inquire from whoever you want to be with. They have their own platform. They have where they are doing their own little shenanigans. You can join them there. We wish you luck, but do not be in the platform established by the United States of Biafra and be causing your havoc. On that note, I thank all the state executives.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you so much for joining me on today's program, wherever you are joining from. I appreciate you and I welcome you to this amazing program. Wherever you are connecting us from, either you are joining us from TikTok, or you are joining us from Facebook, or you are with me on David Hubbard channel, where I am hosting the program. I appreciate you and I welcome you to this amazing program. Thank you so much for joining. I say, may Chukwu Okike Abiama continue to guide and protect you. Wherever you are on this planet Earth, I welcome you. And as many as I have joined this platform this morning, please like and share. Wherever you are and you have joined this platform, like and share the program. Share it to family and friends. Share it to your neighbors. Make sure you bring at least one person to this program. Very, very important. The social media network is not our friend. They are not helping us to expand our program. It is you that will do the job by liking and sharing. Remember, one of the mandates we are given is to engage on radical evangelism. In that radical evangelism, you have a role to play. I have a role to play. One of the roles you have to play is to like the program and share it so that it will go far. For those who are joining us for the very first time and those who are going to come across our video for the first time, the program you are watching is presented to you from this platform that is under the United States of Biafra. United States of Biafra under the command of our Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa, and on the Supreme Command of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. The United States of Biafra today under the order and control of the Deputy Prime Minister, Dr. Ngozi Orabueze, the COS interim. I welcome every one of you. In this platform, we do not come here to instigate violence. We do not preach hate on this platform. We don't come here to attack people or to attack individuals. We do not come here to engage in saga. We don't come here to attack any race or religion. Whatever be your ideology or your opinion, keep it to yourself. You are entitled to that. This morning program is always an interactive section, a section where you can join us on stage, air your opinion, make your contribution, say your prayers, and the whole world will listen to you. Biafrans are watching. The members of the cabinet of the United States of Biafra are watching. So whatever facts you present here, whatever argument you present, whatever objection, submissions, opinion that you present, it will be looked into. The only thing that qualifies you to join us on stage here is to be a human being. We do not segregate. It does not matter your race, your location. It doesn't matter your religion. It doesn't matter your opinion or your ideology. It doesn't matter your orientation. You are free to join us in this platform and air your opinion. Ask your question. Make your contributions. If you have a superior argument, bring it up here. There is no need you sending me private messages. There's no need you coming to private to send me some useless messages that doesn't hold water. I do not have time to respond to messages that you might write. It will be much better if you can come to this platform, because I know some of you that are sending those messages, you know my platform, and that is where you found my number. So if you are man or woman enough and you are convinced that you know what you are saying, you are convinced that you have a superior argument, stop wasting your time writing me a test. In all my programs here every morning, I have a link there. Click that link, come in. Come and say those things you are writing. Say it out. Let the Biafrans see you say them and defend them. And let the Biafrans be the judge after I respond to you. Very, very important. It's an advice. In this platform, we don't come here to abuse or insult anybody. Don't be afraid. I'm not going to insult you. I'm not going to abuse you. Neither will I kick you out. I will not. I will give you all the time in the world, as long as you obey the instructions. No swear words. No insults. make your opinion and make your word known in a civil manner. It doesn't matter how angry or dissatisfied you are. If you can appear in a decent manner and keep those rules, speak in a civil way, express yourself to every length you want to, I will give you that chance. I'm not going to kick you out. Neither will I fight you or insult you. I won't do that. I'm not one of those who come on the platform to begin to raise curses, raise insult or curses of people. I don't do that. I give you all the time in the world to express yourself. So I advise those people who are sending me private messages to come before the whole world and bring those arguments and let us sort it out. I don't know it all. You that is writing me messages equally don't know it all. But by the time we are in the public, people are watching. Members of the cabinet are watching. Other neutral people are watching. They will come in and weigh in the discussion. Then, maybe at the end, you will find your feet again and begin to reason like human. In this platform, what we do is to bring the plight of Biafrans before the whole world. What we do is to tell the world the true situation of things in Biafra land. What we do is to expose every lie against the Biafran people, against the Deputy Prime Minister, against our Prime Minister, against our Supreme Leader Nnamdi Kanu. We expose those lies. We expose the secret war that the Nigerian government is fighting against the Biafrans. The genocide committed against Biafrans. The inhuman treatment of Biafrans, the crime against humanity that is being committed in Biafra land today that nobody seems to be talking about. No conventional media is reporting it. No international media is paying attention, including so many medias out there. None of them is paying attention. They pretend it's not happening. It's our responsibility to bring those facts to the public in this platform, and that is what we do. I welcome every one of you. We have come once again, as we always do. And today we choose a topic that says, United States of Biafra, led by Dr. Ngozi Orabueze, Deputy Prime Minister. Primary objective is to defend Biafra land. The primary objective of the United States of Biafra, led by Deputy Prime Minister Dr. Ngozi Orabueze, is to defend Biafra land. That is the primary objectives. If you have contrary opinion, or if you doubt that, or if you want to know how, the link is there for you to click and come in, ask your question, and I will clear it out for you. Just like every other government of the world, except Nigerian government, every government of the world, except Nigerian government, their primary objective is to secure life and property of its own citizens first. That is the only thing that makes you a legitimate government. That is the only thing that legitimizes you as a government, defending and protecting the life and property of your people. And that is exactly what the government of Biafra, the United States of Biafra, under Dr. Ngozi Orabueze is doing today. It doesn't matter if you don't understand it, ask questions. It doesn't matter if you feel you're not seeing anything, ask questions. Do not allow your ignorance, your envy, jealousy, and hatred to overshadow your eyes, that you begin to lie against yourself and even fight against yourself, thinking you are fighting against the Deputy Prime Minister. It is not about Ngozi Orabueze. It is about the United States of Biafra. It is about our collective interest, our life, each and every one of us. It is not about Dr. Ngozi Orabueze. But today, some individuals are making the struggle about Dr. Ngozi Orabueze. It is not about her. If it were to be around her, about her, most of us will not be here. If it were to be about her, most of us will not be here. Even if we don't have anything to do, we go to sleep and snore. And I know she can handle her shit. But it is about us. And remember the word of our Prime Minister. He made it clear. The reason for attacking Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is not because of him. The attack against Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, the kidnap and the continuous detention of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is not because of him as Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. It is because of you. Because they know he is your voice. That was why he was kidnapped. To stop him from defending you and giving you a voice. When they took him out, Chukwu Okike Abiama gave us the Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa. And it was also clear that the reason Mazi Simon Ekpa was silenced and attacked on daily basis was not because of him as Simon Ekpa. It is because of you. It is because of me. It is because of us that Mazi Simon Ekpa was labeled different kinds of names, attacked day and night. It wasn't because of him. They knew that he has become a voice, just as Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was a voice. And they raised all manner of alarm. The whole enemies of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, enemies of Biafra, united together, unanimously, put hands together, and they fought against our Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa. They became friends, the Janjaweed and the enemies of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, and even Biafrans, who are enemies of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, they became friends with Janjaweed and the British. Every single one of them came together and they began to fight against Mazi Simon Ekpa. Using their diplomatic games and criminality, they were able to stop him from speaking. Not because he is Simon Ekpa, not because of him as Simon Ekpa, but because of you. Every single attack and the suffering he's going through today is because of you. And when they made him incommunicado, they wanted to celebrate their success, that finally Biafra will not be declared. Surprisingly, Chukwu Okike Abiama raised another person. Dr. Ngozi was raised, and she stood her ground to continue on the legacy of Mazi Simon Ekpa to make sure that the Biafra is declared. And today, I see some people, some ignorant fools, or some mischievous people, they will come and tell you that Dr. NgoziOrabueze is destroying the legacy of Mazi Simon Ekpa. And I asked them, what is the legacy of Mazi Simon Ekpa? Can anybody come online? None of them have the boldness to come and confront me. I have been making the announcement. They come privately and they write a message, and I tell them, come to my program. Let us discuss this man to man. Come in a public place. Let us discuss it man to man. Some they will come in comment section and write, and I would give them a link to come in. They wouldn't come in. You are saying that Dr. NgoziOrabueze is destroying the legacy of Mazi Simon Ekpa. First of all, I want you to tell me what is the legacy of Mazi Simon Ekpa. What is the mandate of Mazi Simon Ekpa? You say she's destroying the mandate. You say that she is destroying the structure Mazi Simon Ekpa put in. What is the structure of Mazi Simon Ekpa? That should be the question first. Answer that question. When you answer that question sincerely, then you will now go back and begin to think, who is the person that is standing against the legacy of Mazi Simon Ekpa? Who is truncating the mandate? Even when Mazi Simon Ekpa have sent an express message telling Dr. NgoziOrabueze to keep the mandate, maintain the mandate. Before the message comes, she has stood her ground to maintain the mandate. And one of the major mandates we have is to restore Biafra by fire, by force. Restoration of Biafra. And in that restoration of Biafra, it is a process. One of the process that must be fulfilled, it is a must, that it must be fulfilled is the declaration of the restoration of the United States of Biafra. You must declare it, protect it, secure it, make it recognized. That is the mandate. And every one of us saw how they fought. The same people that are telling you that Dr. Ngozi is destroying the mandate, you saw how they fought the mandate. They fought the declaration of Biafra. It is on video, recorded. You will see it written all over them in their faces. Even in the midst of the declaration, they rose up in the midst of the declaration and they challenged the declaration. After the declaration, they came out and they nullified the declaration and they said it is null and void. And they went back to the old structure. They say it is better to remain stagnant. Something that Mazi Simon Ekpa will not tolerate. This was something that made Mazi Simon to dump the DOS. The thing that made him to dump DOS, what? The DOS stood stagnant. And they felt that things should remain the way it is until Mazi Nnamdi Kanu comes out. The agenda of the DOS was to continue to preach, and sensitize until thy kingdom come. And Mazi Simon Ekpa said, no, we must have to pursue a dimension to restore Biafra, which was the new dimension Mazi Nnamdi Kanu himself preached. And you see people today doing exactly the same thing the Department of Sabotua did, and you are supporting them. You say you are confused. You say you don't understand. And they come and tell you that that Dr. NgoziOrabueze is destroying the legacy or the mandate of Mazi Simon Ekpa. And you don't ask them question. How? Ask them, what is the mandate? What is that mandate? And in their criminal mind, some of them will begin to today, where they channel their energy today is on the men on the ground. That is where they have changed and deviated their directions. They will divert your attention to the men on the ground. And some of them will come and tell you that Dr. NgoziOrabueze is not supporting the men on the ground. And I will ask, who are these men on the ground? Who are they? Is the men on the ground working for the government or the government working for the men on the ground? Are the men on the ground under Mazi Simon Ekpa or Mazi Simon Ekpa under the men on the ground? And one of the things that marvels me is that from all their arguments, the arguments they are presenting, the challenges they are throwing, the nonsense they are spilling shows that Dr. NgoziOrabueze is the right person to lead. And that is why they are criticizing and questioning her. That questioning they are bringing on confirms that Dr. NgoziOrabueze is the right person to be in the post. But in their questioning, they are presenting the question in a mischievous way to discredit her, not knowing that that question they are presenting is making her the qualified person to be there. Because if you claim she is not supporting the men on the ground, you are saying that because she is the right person to be there. Because if she is not the right person to be there, you wouldn't question her about the men on the ground. You will focus on the person you feel is the right person and question that person and let the person take responsibility. If you think she is not the right person, what you have to do is to channel your energy on that person you feel is your right person and now present the question. But from all indication, every single one of them seems to agree that Dr. NgoziOrabueze is the right person to lead. But they have refused and sworn not to support her. Instead, they continue to distract her. And they begin to ask irrelevant questions. The primary objective of the United States of Biafra under Dr. NgoziOrabueze is to defend the life and property of Biafrans, and she has been doing so. The government have been doing so, and we continue to do so. You want to ask me how? I will explain to you. From the moment Mazi Simon Ekpa was taken away from us, Dr. NgoziOrabueze was supposed to assume office to continue to carry on the foundation led by Mazi Simon Ekpa, of which she is very well aware, and she is part of that foundation. She was there when the foundation was led. What she did was to call the attention of everyone that has participated from the onset, to inquire from them informations on where they are having issues, on where they are needed. Some of them decided to pull out. They refused to give her the necessary information. They ran away, refused to give her necessary information, including this same finance they are talking about today. The person that took the finance of the government and ran away refused to tender account. Still have the confidence today to begin to question Dr. NgoziOrabueze about finance. The same finance you hijacked and stole. And these idiots that are asking Dr. NgoziOrabueze about financing the Liberation Army, they are very much aware that the person who has the responsibility to finance these people under Dr. NgoziOrabueze is the finance minister appointed by Mazi Simon Ekpa. And being that Dr. NgoziOrabueze is a superior officer to her, a superior staff, the chief of staff is ahead of your so-called defense minister. He has to subject himself under her and render account. He refused to do so, and he took the money to himself. With some group of people, both on ground and out of ground, they connived and said they formed their cabal and insisted that they cannot render account. And what did they do? They begin to push blackmail and propaganda. Today, the same people that have refused to render account are coming to tell you to go and ask the leader of the United States of Biafra, Dr. NgoziOrabueze, to explain to them what she does with the money. Which money are you talking about? Is it the money you stole? Is it the same finance that was handed over to you that you stole and keep to yourself? Refuse to tell what will be done and what has, refuse to render account of how money was spent. Because you have shared it with your own cohort. Your cabal insisted that that account will not be rendered. Up to this moment, no explanation has been given. And you have the gut to come and question the leader of the United States of Biafra. You don't have any explanation. You don't deserve any explanation. If there's anybody that is going to ask for explanation, it is not you, not your group. There is nobody under the so-called idiotic group that has the right to on a camera and demand for anything. But of course, they know where they go. I saw one of the idiotic videos that one clown sent to me. There was one clown, an idiot. I thought that he was responsible. He was in my WhatsApp group. He was in my WhatsApp group when I thought he was responsible, and I was watching him. And that is how they do. When they come, they will try to come closer to you. They will try to pretend to know everything on the planet Earth. The idiot came on my platform, and he was even trying to take over the platform, trying to preach his own message in my platform. When he comes here, he began to bring some different kinds of... I just kept quiet. I was watching him. Maybe he thought he was dealing with a fool. He first of all started from telling me he is going to get every information about Mazi Simon Ekpa. He's going to go to Finland. He's going to write the person. He knows the person who is in charge of the case of Mazi Simon Ekpa. I said, okay, fine, go and get it. Each time he brings those useless topics, I will say, fine. I don't argue with him. He said he knows the person. He knows IPO. He was in charge of the case of Mazi Simon Ekpa. He's going to write to that person and bring the case, bring the issue. I say, okay, fine, that's good. He said he has written there, and the man said that Mazi Simon Ekpa is okay, he's in his house, he's not there. I said, okay, fine. Next time, he began to question that if Biafra are not told what is going to happen, and this, he's going to go there, he's going to travel to Finland, he's going to do it. I kept quiet. Until when I got filled up with his nonsense, I told him, don't write that on my WhatsApp group anymore. Do not post such nonsense on my WhatsApp group anymore. And he knows that when I give that warning, that the next thing I would do is to remove him from that very platform if he does again. Then what did he do? He exited himself and he blocked me. He exited himself and wrote a message and blocked me. I didn't bother. I left him. Surprisingly, yesterday, he sent me a video. And the video he sent me was the video where somebody, one clown, a clown that doesn't know their left and right, one of these, you think everybody that opens camera and begin to shout knows about Biafra? Do you think that is everybody that opens camera and begin to talk about Biafra knows about Biafra? There are so many of them that don't know what they're doing. They are just talking because they are opportune to talk. There are people, they are just talking. Just like in the time of Mazen Nandekan. During the time of Mazen Nandekan in IPOB, you see every clown on camera to talk. Everybody. Those voices are needed to make sure that the noise increases. But of course, we know those who have the words. When you see people who knows what they are talking about, ask them questions. Interact with them. You see how calm they are. They are not going to insult you. They are not going to attack you. But when you see all these ones backing online, when they on their camera, they begin to back and talk and insult and insult. They have no argument. They have nothing to present. All they are going is the topic that was given with them by the paymaster. Or the topic they are given by their lovers. They give them the topic and they begin to shout and run. The idiot sent me a program that was heard by one, I don't know how to describe her. And she was just shouting and talking rubbish and talking about accountability and that Dr. Ngozi should come and tell them what she has done with the money that was contributed. And I looked at the video. And when I saw the video he sent, I know his intention of sending it. And it has become clear where he stands. And I wrote back to him. He just sent the video and blocked again. Because when I replied, I discovered that he has blocked me. So playing such mind game is a waste of time. I wrote back to him, come to my program. I hold my program every morning, every blessed day. And in every program, I send a link. Come to the program, bring your superior argument, and let the whole world see us talk about this issue. Not sending me some useless messages from one clan from somewhere that doesn't have. The only people that we go to are people who doesn't know what it is that is happening in Biafra issue. I didn't start following the Biafra issue from today. All the way from Mazen Nandekan in 2015. I started paying full attention to the issue of Biafra from 2015. As an independent person, I don't go to anybody to beg for information. Just like my brother Akonyo would always say here, I make inquiries, gather information for myself, and I come to my program and present it. I have been doing that since 2015 up to date. So there is no nonsense. There is no kind of criminal act, blackmail, propaganda that I have not seen in this very struggle. There is no kind of propaganda, blackmail, or criminality that I have not seen in this struggle. I speak about it when I want to speak. I talk about issues I want to talk about. But you cannot muzzle me or push me right, left, and center. And whoever you are, you feel you have a superior argument, you know better. I don't insult you. Just come. I will give you all the time in the world. I will give you all the time. You'll still express yourself. Let the world see how intelligent you are. I'm not going to waste your time. I'm not going to waste your time. I'm not going to disgrace you. I'm not going to attack you. Sorry, Coach Hughes, you just went out. Sorry I kept you for too long for waiting. You know, sometimes some issues will come up and I need to trash it squarely before ever I allow people to get on to speak. So my brother Coach Hughes, you can come back again. You can send in your request back so that you can have your word. Let it not be I see if I didn't notice you. I saw your attention, but that very issue I was talking about really caught my attention. That was why I was trying to deal with it first of all before I could go into an open program. So please send back your request. I'm going to bring you back for you to make your contribution. So my fellow Biafrans, you must be very careful who you listen to. And the most important way to listen is when you listen, apply your common sense, make your verifications. Do not just take information, copy and paste. No, you don't take information into your brain. You copy and you paste into your brain. No. When you hear a word, digest it. Try to look into it properly. And then you will make your decision and suggest what you want. You do not just talk because people are talking. Yesterday, our Deputy Prime Minister, Dr. Ngozi, was interviewed in one of the podcasts, which most of us watched. And you saw her make a defense for Biafra. And even in that program, when I went to that very YouTube channel where she was about to be interviewed, some idiots have already gone there to begin to write some unnecessary comments. This is an international media. This is a media. This is a broadcaster. Is an international. This is just to give a voice. Give a voice to the struggle of Biafra. Give a voice to what the Biafran people are facing. But all you could do is to go to the comment section and begin to ask Dr. Ngozi. He said, ask Dr. Ngozi, what is she doing with the money that Biafrans are contributing? Ask Dr. Ngozi, why is she not keeping the legacy of Mazi Samanekwa? In a program that is meant to preach the plight of the Biafran people to the world. In a program that was meant to present Biafra to the world and tell the world what is going on. You go on the comment section, all you are doing is to demoralize Biafra, to demonetize Biafra, and to make Biafra look like a child's play. And you think you were doing that to Dr. Ngozi. You think that attack was to her. It wasn't to her. You were attacking Biafra. And if the person you are projecting is relevant, if the idiot you are projecting is relevant, why are people not inviting him to interview him? Why is he not going for interview? If the man you are presenting today, you claim he knows, he has what it takes, why are people not calling him to address him or to interview him? That alone should make you wake up. Even Nigerian media with their wickedness, have never reported anything they said that this idiot said. No. Nigerian media has never reported that this clown said. But every time, it has always been Dr. Ngozi to market Biafra to the world. All you need to do is to support her, not to go there to demonetize or to demarket Biafra. Every negative comment you are writing there, you think you are writing about her. It is not of her. You are writing against Biafra. And that is the stupidity that has occupied some of their minds. Those who claim to be fighting for Biafra. People that cannot even fight for themselves. You can't fight for yourself. You are fighting for someone else. What a shame. Coach Chooks, you're welcome back. Sorry for keeping you for that long. Please go on and speak to Biafrans. Let's listen to you and hear what you have to say. Are you there, Coach Chooks?
Yes, good morning, Mazi Chooks.
Good morning, you're welcome.
Thank you very much.
Go ahead and speak to us. Let's hear you.
Okay, sir. About first of all, I wanted to ask just a two question. And at the same time, I thank our DPM for the wonderful interview that he had yesterday. The interview is very, very wonderful. Even there is another thing that is even more than that wonderful. I think that is what we're supposed to give to her. And at the same time, we want something of that nature to come up in future. If we are still expecting something like that interview again. And my next question is this. Because I'm in Holland here, we are hearing a news that our leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is coming to court, which is on Monday. And at the same time, we were praying that they're going to release him that very day. And another thing is this, because he needs us never before. The government is supposed to to do as much as possible to protect him, because he needs us now. Because as it stands now, if our PM is around, you know what to do. And those that are going to contact to protect our leader. And another thing again, the second question is this, because as it is now, we have not heard anything from our PM so far. Because the government we need to join our hands together to find international lawyer for our PM as it stands now, because he's already international lawyer. That is the person that is going to be in the right position to tell us the day and the time that are going to go for court. That's just what I wanted to put in that aspect, that the government needs to find an international lawyer for our PM. Thank you.
Okay. On the case of international lawyer, what do you think is the work of the international lawyer?
Okay. The international lawyer that you're talking about, let me just say, because the international lawyer, that is the person, I think that is going to be the person that is going to leave from the country that is from his own country to go in any other country, in any other world, to go and defend Biafrans, which is the government.
Do you know that the government of Biafra has an international lawyer?
No, I don't know.
You don't know?
Yes.
That means you have not been following our program, right?
I've been following. Because I think
if you have been following, you won't tell me you don't know. Haven't you seen the international lawyer of United States of Biafra in a meeting with us live?
No, I saw the one I think that is Anthony Levy or
yes. What is he? Is he the local lawyer?
I thought because my observation, I thought he's the same lawyer that our PM is talking about before. His own personal lawyer.
His what?
I think his own personal lawyer. I don't know that he's international lawyer.
Dr. Levy is the lawyer of the United States of Biafra. He is the international lawyer of the United States of Biafra who is preparing all our documents and sending all the papers we needed to everywhere. Did you watch the program of our deputy prime minister last time when she told us that was on fundraising, I think last week fundraising, when she said that our prime minister contacted our international lawyer, Dr. Levy, and sent a message to Dr. Levy, to Biafrans and to her. Did you hear it? I hear that.
That is they're going to join us soon.
So why are you still asking for international lawyer?
I didn't know that is an international lawyer that you're talking about. I don't know.
Okay. Why I'm asking this question is sometimes you people should be listening to the right people. Listen to the right people, and when you are following, I have said several times on this platform, there are places you follow. You that follows the program of the Biafran people, when you follow the program, follow it closely and believe what you see. If you decide to believe something else, it is a different thing, and you will just be troubling your mind and disturb yourself unnecessarily. This knowledge we talk, when we talk about governance and knowledge, there are things that we're supposed to know as human beings. Every country in this world have their way of prosecuting their case. Europe have their method, America have their method, Africans have the way of doing their things. The case of Mazi Simon Ekpa, everybody know that he is under investigation. That is what the Finnish authority says. And in their system, you can be on that investigation for as long as they want. They did not implement that law because of Mazi Simon Ekpa, and they cannot change it because of Mazi Simon Ekpa. In as much as we are not pleased with what is happening, nobody is happy. Everybody wants Mazi Simon Ekpa to come up as early as yesterday. Every single one of us is crying about that. Nobody is happy. Not the Deputy Prime Minister, not the Biafrans, not you, not me. We are all worried. But at the same time, that our worry will not make us to begin to speak in a manner that will discourage other people or seem as if the government is idle. Sometimes people will say they are not hearing from Mazi Simon. Mazi Simon have sent messages on several occasions that was transmitted to the Biafran people through so many people, and it was aired online. The very recent one was that of last fundraising. And still yet, you see some people who will come and tell you that they want an international liar. And they'll be wondering. Number one is that the case is not in the court yet. He is still under investigation. And you have forgotten that Mazi Simon himself is a lawyer. He has a law firm in Finland. If there is a need for international lawyer, the government is aware. And we already have our own lawyer who is in touch with him. The international lawyer of the United States of Biafra, Dr. Levy. We should not allow people to be confusing us unnecessarily, just like the propaganda they are pushing. People who has nothing to offer to you in this restoration of Biafra, who are just here to distract and preach their nonsense out there, must not be listening to. Don't allow them to put tension on you. Do not allow them to put tension on you. Just like in the case of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, every one of us is worried about Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, more especially his security. We are worried. Everybody is worried. And the plans are being made on a daily basis on how to make sure that security are being put in place to keep him safe. And for them to come and begin to, we in the Biafran government, we are not hoping on the government of Nigeria for anything. A government that came out and upheld the proscription of IPOB, of which Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is the leader. The so-called politicians, the so-called Ahanezendigo, could not be able to deproscribe IPOB, which they themselves were the people that proscribed them. It is these governors, these same politicians, they were the one that proscribed IPOB. If they were serious, the simplest thing they could do is to deproscribe IPOB. That alone will give Mazi Nnamdi Kanu a straight and express ticket of freedom. But they kept silent. And the law, the court of Nigeria, upheld the proscription of IPOB as a terrorist organization, and Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the leader of a terrorist organization. And today they will come out and tell you, oh, he's coming out tomorrow, he's coming out next tomorrow, he's coming out. I don't believe anything from anybody. I don't believe them. Neither do I make my hope on them. I don't put my trust on any government or whatever they say. I am focused on the government of Biafra, which I know and trust, that under the structure kept by Mazi Simon Ekpa, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu will be free, depending and based on what we do. If not for the distractions we are having today, if not for the obstructions we are having today, things would have been very much different. But in the midst of that, the United States of Biafra we are talking about is just 2 months old. It was declared on the 29th of November. From 29th of November to today, today is 8th of February. How many months is that? How many months is that? At least when you give birth to a child, You have to breastfeed that child. Give water and milk to that child until the child gets stronger. Begin to crawl, from crawling to walking, from walking to running, from running, it will grow. A child will not just go from the stomach and begin to walk. If you see a child, if a woman delivers a child and the child begin to walk from that day, you will curse that child and you will run away. You can't stand it. But that is what we see today in Biafra issue. Some people are expecting magic to happen overnight. They want everything to change and transform immediately. Even with the disruption you are seeing today in broad daylight, you see some set of people who are supposed to support this government to move. Even when they know that the right protocol is that the Deputy Prime Minister, Dr. Ngozi should be in charge and lead. They know it very well. They know that is the protocol. And they deviated from it. Now they are distracting her. At the same time, questioning her on what to do and what not to do. My beloved brothers and sisters that are watching, what I am saying concerns everybody. Not just to my brother asked the question. We must desist from listening from our enemy. You cannot gain anything from your enemy. Your enemy can never report any positive thing about you. It will always be negative. Negative information. You can never get any positive information from your enemy. That is why we have to desist from listening to them. With my level of understanding and what I have seen in the program and in the video, I don't go to their platform. I don't listen to them. Sometimes, even when people send me their video and I see their video, I don't pay attention. The only thing I respond to is sometimes when I see some of my comrades talk about some issues, or somebody calls me and begin to speak about what he had from them. That is when I speak. But for me to go and get their video, and I don't look at it, I don't even pay attention to them. I don't attack their platform. I don't go and say, don't watch or no. I don't have that time. I am focused on the United States of Biafra strength, how we are going to make it work. The achievements and the effort have been made so far, and the achievement and the effort that the government have continued to make. Just like the outing you saw yesterday. Already they are using the outing again for the propaganda. And how could you imagine that in a program that the Deputy Prime Minister was invited to come and speak about the plight of the Biafran people, to come and project Biafran to the world, and you saw people on the comment section, you saw people today trying to denigrate her, you saw people using that very content now for a joke. And you think you are doing that to Dr. Ngozi. You are not doing it to her. It is not to her. Whatever you are doing it to yourself. You are destroying yourself. Dr. Ngozi is living in the United States, and she's living very, very, more than okay. She is more than okay. She has all she needs. She has a good life in the United States. And if she decides not to come back or talk about this issue, it's not going to change anything. It's not going to bring her down. Instead, she is the one risking herself, risking her freedom, risking her enjoyment to sit on and stand up and stand for Biafra. Something that so many of us abroad cannot do. Do you think that she's only one of the people who is richest or the most popular person in the United States? We have people even in the offices of the government of the world, but none of them is speaking. You see, Master Simon Ekpa, he sacrificed everything he has worked for. Something that is the prayer point of some people. Some people, their prayer point is to be relevant wherever they find themselves. Master Simon Ekpa has not only gained relevance, he has gained a level of stance, a place where he has contested election and won election as a councillor, served in all ramifications, established himself known up to the presidency, and yet he abandoned it and began to fight for Biafra. Today he is going through suffering because of Biafra. After building a good life for himself, he abandoned it. The same thing today Dr. Ngozi is doing. But you don't pay attention to them. What you are doing is you think you're attacking them or talking down on them will make you relevant. That doesn't give you relevance. It doesn't. If you are not relevant, you are not. Propaganda and blackmail will not make you relevant. Instead, it will make people know whom you are. It will denigrate you the more. Every one of us know who passes us. If you see somebody that's more than you, you will know, even though you continue to pretend. Even though you continue to pretend, you will know. The primary objective of the Biafran government is to make sure that we preach this gospel and protect the Biafran land, make sure that our people are safe, and that we will continue to do. It doesn't matter how anybody feels about it. The United States of Biafra is just less than 2 months old. And yet, some of you want things to be transformed overnight, even with the challenges that we are seeing. The people that are questioning, you are questioning this and questioning that. Some of them don't even attend the fundraising. How much do you have you committed in the fundraising? And some of you are the ones that supported somebody who have refused to bring out the fund that was contributed by the Biafrans from the time Master Samanaka was there. Many things have been done. I could remember before the convention, the Liberation Army of Biafra was upgraded, announced by Master Samanaka that they have been upgraded. He announced it by himself. So, what happened? What happened? Dr. Ngozi, the Deputy Prime Minister, asked for accountability to come and straighten this up. Let us know where to move forward from. You refuse. You say she doesn't have such authority. Even when you know that she is the next in command. And what she is doing is what she has to do. And for you to run a government, you must have information about the government you want to run. And some idiot supported that idiocy. And today, the same people are now coming to ask the same question that they said is an abomination to ask. And some people are paying attention to them. For me, I don't have time for those idiots. I don't pay attention to them. I have always told them, those of them that come and write me privately, if you know you are convinced with the argument you are bringing, you are man enough. Every morning I come on program, come click the link and come in. I'm not going to insult you. I'm not going to stop you. You have all the time to fool yourself and the whole world will judge. Maybe at the end of the discussion is either you learn from me or I learn from you. You're welcome, Christian. Thank you for joining me. Are you there, Christian?
Mazi, just morning.
Good morning. You're welcome.
Yeah. So, how you okay? Huh?
Very well, thank you.
Okay. Yeah. So, I don't know. I tried to speak to Ada Diorama maybe yesterday or so, but she didn't pick. I just called only once, but I just wanted to kind of say to her, I don't know if she watches this program or listen, that it's okay. Well, I mean, the fact that she hasn't, if she's facing a suspension or something, that is okay. I mean, you know, anybody in an organization or nation building, anybody can make mistake. And if you genuinely want have the interest of the people at heart, if you genuinely want the freedom of Biafran, then it's okay to just get on with it, with the suspension, and at the end of it, you come back if you choose it and if you don't. But the bottom line, the most important thing is that you don't turn around and begin to want to fight or sabotage the movement. And I'm happy she's not doing that, because yesterday I saw on the program how happy she was, you know, over the interview, you know. So, and there are people who try all this time to kind of manipulate her brain, you know. There are people who calls into her program to kind of spin it so that if she falls for it, then she'll begin to, you know, attack or antagonize Dr. Ngozi Orabueze. But I'm happy she didn't fall I'm happy she didn't fall for it. So, are you hearing me, right? Hello? Oh, okay. Yeah. So that is the situation. But yeah, it's unfortunate because with the PM, their desired result, their desired effect, is what has been playing out somewhat. The British government, the terrorist Nigerian government, and all the collaborators, the Igbo governors, this is their desired effect of trying to keep him there, because they know that what we have now, what is playing out more or less, is their desired effect. Where few days ago, a lot of massacre has been going on, and it's just sad that they're trying to divide the house, and a divided house is tough to stand, even when NgoziOrabueze is doing the right thing, doing the best of her ability. But it's tough. It is tough because I saw on the program where Soludo and these are the enemies of Biafrans. The boys of Sarido Kubo, the song they sang from what I saw, that I think it was yesterday, there were lots of them. They had the same uniform of the Asari boys and their emblems and stuff like that. They were with Soludo, and they gather group of Biafran boys, men, and so obviously, I don't know if I've said it in the past that the greatest threat to the survival of Ndigbo is the governors of Ndigbo. That I don't know whether if you may not like it, but that's just a fact, a confirmed fact that these people you call governors that were not elected by the people, they were put there by the Fulani, hijacked Nigerian system. They are working without a doubt with the Fulanis to integrate the Fulanis into the Igbo nation. That you can take anywhere. I am saying it with all the facts. And I'm not just saying it, they themselves have said it in the past. That is what it's all about, to integrate the Fulanis into the Igbo society, because one, they sworn before they are allowed to go and sit down there as governor. They sworn to it, they sworn allegiance to the caliphate on that. And that is why they will never stand against it. They won't even come out to condemn. Rather, they will try to pacify the Igbo people. Don't retaliate, don't do this. And they will massacre, and they will go and regroup and rearrange, replan, and come back, do it again. It's been going on. It's not the first time, and I don't think it's going to be the last, because they are not. That is just the game plan. That is what it's all about. That eventually they will get the Fulanis in the forest, in the bushes, to find a way to get into the society, reintegrate, mix up with them, and then everything is okay. That is what they want. That is the game plan. So let nobody be deceived. The threat, the existential threat facing Ndigbo are from these governors, these politicians. That is unfortunate, but it is what it is. I don't mix word, so we have to call it for what it is. If you allow them to stay in the forest, it's very unfortunate, because the Yoruba politicians, the governors, they stand up in defense of their people. The governors are more proactive. The Igbo governors, they are docile, they are complicit, while the people itself, the citizens, they are doing their best with a limited capacity, because what do you do? How much can you do? That is very sad, but I don't know what they want. I don't know what people really want, while they feel the need to mix up the race, the people, and bring in these marauders who want to slowly and surely Islamize the people, Fulanize the people. And it's the effect of what the British, the Nigerian, and Finland capitulated. It's just a pure capitulation. The pressure was brought to bear, and they keep holding him and saying that they're investigating. Investigating what? What is there to investigate? Okay, if you're investigating, fine, carry on with your investigation. The man was engaged in activity that is legal. Self-defense is legal under every law in the world. And that is what Simon Ekpa was engaged in. So if you are going to investigate, that's fine. Carry on with your investigation. Because you cannot tell the man you kind of stifle him, tie his hand to the back, and continue to massacre his people. You say you're investigating, and nobody speaks. Nobody, absolutely nobody speaks. Not the Bianco no or Bianco Juku, the people. She was primarily used, because as much as the British mounted the pressure, but they needed a confirmation from somebody not other than the wife of the initiator, the originator, the guy who created this Biafra movement. That is Ojukwu himself. So they needed that voice from her. And Tinubu, the Nigerian government, they enticed her. They gave her all the money, and she fought for it as usual. So these are just unfortunate situations, but it is what it is. But as for Dr. NgoziOrabueze, she's doing amazing. She is doing excellently well. I watched the interview yesterday. In fact, I watched it 2 times because the audio was not loud enough. So I tried to watch it a couple of times. So if she watches this program or she hears or whatever, I just want her to know that she must continue to stand strong and stand tall, and don't be afraid. If she hears my word, that is my word to her. Do not be afraid. Chukwu Okike Abiama has got your back. And Biafrans worldwide who are genuine and genuinely want freedom for Biafrans, we've all got your back, and we continue to support her in prayers, because sometimes people don't understand. These things doesn't happen on a vacuum. They don't just happen, okay? So it's not accident that she is where she is today. It's by design. I cannot guarantee you that it's by design of Chukwu Okike Abiama that she is where she is today. And she has become she's Biafran Esther as it is now, and she has to continue to assume that road and be brave, like Esther said, if I perish, I perish. But the good thing though is that, because this is why I always make reference to the time frame, how God works. God works with time, and his programs are always time-based programs, So let the British or the zoo, let them go and mount pressure on this American government that is under Donald Trump to get them to quieten or silence, make her stop talking. It's not going to happen. That is not going to happen. That's why I told you from the last time we spoke, I said, God is always a million miles ahead of the evil ones, So a lot of people are against Trump in every way possible. And I also said severally that he is not perfect. He will make mistakes, but his intentions are good. Anyhow you look at it, it's open for a debate. Everywhere I go, I've always been able to prove myself. When I say it, it might seem like mischievous, like a mistake or whatever. But yeah, I think he's doing his best too. And we have this window of opportunity. So I just want the Deputy Prime Minister to continue to work in confidence, continue to go to places, speaks with government, and the platform that she was interviewed yesterday. I forgot. I didn't quite, when I saw the guy himself, Robert Spencer, then I Googled, I was like, so then I just typed his name, and it's all over the place. He's a well-known, famous man that speaks the reality, just pure facts, undiluted, because he has lived it. He is from the old Constantinople, Turkish, So these were Christians, and things happened. It happens to them, and today Turkey is not what he used to be. So he's a guy with experience. He knows what all this is about. So these are the type of job that our DPM is doing that is very, very, very good, very honorable. And she just have to continue confidently to do this and use this time frame. I keep mentioning this time frame. There's a reason why everything happened the way it happened. In as much as we are sad that the PM can't come out and speak, because if he does, all these whole shenanigans from others will be put to rest. That are pretty much, they will be cut short somewhat. But the PM she's doing amazing, and let her continue to push. And my brother.
Thank you for that contribution. Every Biafran that is watching this program, you must know that we will never look back, and the PM, the Deputy Prime Minister, is doing what she's supposed to do. Some of you are paying attention to the wrong people, and that is why you are getting confused. When you look at the topic I chose there, I said the United States of Biafra, led by Deputy Prime Minister Dr. Ngozi, primary objective is to defend Biafra land. And she has been doing so. Biafra land must be defended. For those of you who did not watch that program yesterday, I think we're going to listen to that program and draw some lessons from that program, and then we'll come, because I know some of them, the idiots, are now going to go online and begin to do something different, just like they were doing. When this program was going on, when I went there, I saw their comments on the comment section. I was wondering, the people that says that they are working for Biafra. You saw somebody who is coming to market Biafra to the world. What you could do is to go and demarket the same Biafra you say you are fighting for. It's a shame, but we must continue. Let's hear how, for those who were not able to participate this because it came for sudden, some did not be able to follow up. Let's go through it again.
Sorry, Mazi Juice.
Yeah.
Can I just quickly say, I don't know, personally, do you acknowledge the fact that in spite of all, the Soludos of this world, they are undoubtedly, what's the word? I forgot the word I wanted to use. They are wreaking havoc. These Soludos are wreaking havoc. I think there's is there acknowledgement of the fact that Soludo is wreaking havoc, because he is working directly with Asarudo Kubo boys, and they are doing, it's unimaginable what he is doing. Of course, the fact that election, I think his re-election or whatever is coming up soon. I don't know, that has to do with this extent to which he is just wreaking havoc all over the place. How do you bring in boys from Asarudo Kubo boys who have sworn to buy Biafrans? It's incredible. So I hope there is acknowledgement of the fact that this guy is wreaking havoc in the land.
The issue there is that if anybody that is seeing something that's happening today as a surprise, that means the person has not been following up. Everything is expected in this struggle. That is why we are most concerned when people begin to deviate from what we are doing and they do a different thing altogether. There is nothing that surprises us in this very struggle. Everything is expected to happen. From the time of Mazen Nandekan, all these things are in place. The Zoological Republic, the terrorists, the British and whatever, they can use any means or any manner to implement what they want to implement. Their strategy is one. All these things you are seeing, our plan have been drawn out from a very long time before now. That is why it doesn't surprise us when we see it. And that is why we have been crying and we get worried when some people begin to deviate from the original plan, when people begin to deviate. And I want us to listen to this very video I'm about to play now, to portray on this very issue, for you to know that this thing didn't start today. Whatever you are seeing, you don't have to be surprised. They can implement it through any means, through any direction, and that is what you are seeing today. Islamization. People are paid in for it. People are keyed into it. Biafrans and non-Biafrans, the government of Nigeria is sponsoring it in one way or the other. It didn't start today. It started a long time ago, but some of us are not paying attention. And the thing it has been slowed down by the effort of the Biafrans. That is why you cannot see it happening so much. But for the fact that Biafra have been declared and they know that they have a limited time, they will unleash everything. They will unleash everything. Let's listen to this very warning that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu gave.
And months held invaders. So in the coming weeks and months, men and women are going to die. But after that, Biafra shall be restored. China have agreed to sell weapons to Nigeria. They have also signed an agreement to supply Nigeria with weapons. The Nigerian government recruited 3 hardened terror groups to fight this very battle for them. Al-Shabaab, they are in and around Lagos and Yoruba land. They are the ones to lead the attack against Yoruba people. The main strike force of Al-Qaeda in the Maghreb, they are advancing through Benue. They will enter into Kogi. From there, they will come into Anambra and Enugu. Whereas the main Boko Haram front, recruited by this same government, they are coming from Ebu. But their place is in Bauchi, they are coming from Bauchi. That's where the armor, that is where the tanks are that they have given to them with which to kill people. Because they have promised them the oil and gas in Biafra land. And that Allah gave Nigeria to Fulani people. The Fulanis have come to take over our land. And we have said to them that they're not going to do it. We are not going to allow them to do it. Not now, not tomorrow, not ever. And the sooner they understand this, the better for everybody. Because one thing that the Janjaweed must bear in mind is this, is that this...
So what you just heard now is the voice of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, warning of what you are seeing happening today. It is not something new. Some of us look at it as something new because either we don't have the information, so we'll not be paying attention. Why this attack has been slowed down is because of the effort of the Biafrans, the Liberation Army of Biafra that was established by Mazi Simon Ekpa, and the ESN then when Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was there. The Biafrans have at all times slowed them down. And whenever they create that loopholes and they see chances, they will come in and do anything they want to do. Through any man, either the governor or the president or anywhere, they always perpetrate those efforts. That is why we are much concerned and worried when we begin to see our people deviate from the original plan and begin to do different things, begin to exalt themselves. It becomes something of exalting individuals instead of exalting the Biafra itself or fighting for Biafra itself. But
Mazi, yeah, they were tamed though. They were matched, sort of. When Simon Ekpa was around, they engaged them. They matched. They engaged them, and obviously my point is that, like what I saw that a day ago or 2 days ago, when there was so much impunity in their trucks, with Biafrans in the trucks tied up, and Soludo was just, his boys with the Asare boys, and they were just like so free to just do these things. And that is where I said, okay, well, is the effect or the consequence of what they've done to our PM, because otherwise they will engage them, and eventually for that period when he was really working with these guys, the fear was there, because if, like, when you are coming to my place to buy me and you know I have something to defend myself, you will be worried too, because you could go down. So, but they seems to, like, I don't know, like a field day, what I saw was very disheartening. But let's pray that we'll be able to. It's just a sad situation. It really sad. So this is the angle where Adadiorama comes from, but the only thing is that like I said, what I'm happy about is the fact that she can just remain the way she is. We should have to continue to support the government, because it's unquestionable that this government.
And again, I want us to avoid issue of talking about anybody or any person. Everybody have the right to do any line they want to do. In as much as we are in this struggle and we are in the government, or we are speaking about the struggle, anybody decide to do something different or decide to have a line of thought, it's left for them. Maybe with time they begin to understand the real thing and know what they are supposed to do.
Okay.
The government of Biafra is doing everything they have to do, and they have been doing it. Whatever is happening today didn't start today. It didn't start today. When the attacks were happening, it had been coming for a very long time. During the time of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, so many attacks happened. And at the end of the day, we responded. In the time of Mazi Simon Ekpa, many attacks happened. At the end of the day, we responded. Why don't people just have patience and wait and see what is going to happen? Nobody is happy that any life is being lost. Nobody can be happy that a life is being lost. But at the same time, the government is not silent and they are not adamant or they're not quiet. Seeing the kind of problem we are facing now, seeing the kind of infiltration we have in our midst today, seeing the kind of challenges that the Deputy Prime Minister is facing today and the government of Biafra, United States of Biafra is facing, people have to understand that there are certain things that have to be tolerated. Certain things will happen. But that doesn't mean that the government will be silent. The government is going to respond. And they will respond accordingly. They will definitely respond. It is always there. They always come with this kind of listen. When Ifeanyi Ubah organized his own security feed, that was what they did. They did their parade, and they took the life of innocent people, shot one or two people during the time of Ifeanyi Ubah. Our Deputy Prime Minister was there. They did their shit. After they did all they did, we left them. And at the right time, the government strike after they have put their home in order. The same thing the time of Mazen Nandekan. It happened in Obibo. Obibo, people were decimated and life were lost. Not one, not two, not even 100, in thousands. But at the end of the day, the government got themselves, the people in charge got themselves, and they responded accordingly. And that is how it is. Everyone should understand that in this government of Biafra, United of Biafra, there are limitations to what we can do. There are limitations to where we can cover. We have limited resources in all areas. But Chukwu Okike Abiama is helping the government to make sure that things are being controlled and curtailed and make sure that it doesn't blow out of hand. We know we are having challenges now. Challenges which are being created by the infiltrators among us, those who are preaching a different gospel, who have decided to deviate from the strategy. They are the one that deviated. I mean, they are the one questioning the government and accusing the government of deviation. Preaching their lies on different angles, on different corners. Every Biafran must embrace themselves. Just like Mazen Nandekano said on this very video I played. It will continue to happen. They are going to kill us. We will kill them. At the end of the day, Biafra will come. It is a warfare. That is war ongoing already. And the Nigerian government is recruiting everything they can. Foreign mercenaries from outside. Recruiting people from inside. And damages will be caused. Lives will be lost. There's no doubt about it. Anybody that is telling you that, oh, there is something you're going to do and nobody will die again, it is not going to happen. If anybody is just having a mind that there is something that will be done today, the one magic or miracle that will perform, and nobody, people will die. Definitely, nothing is going to stop it. Even Master Simon Ekpa made it clear that the battle is going to be intense, but at the end of the day, all this nonsense is going to end on the round table. How do you bring them on the round table? You are going to bring them on the round table by force. And the government is putting the strategy in place to bring that force, to drag them into the round table. It will happen. It is going to happen. But a government that is just a month and some days young, people should not be expecting so much from the government. You don't expect a child, when a child is born, it will first of all crawl, walk, and then run. When you give birth to a child and you begin to run from that very day, even you yourself will be scared. You'll be worried. You ask questions. Every Biafran must be strong. The only thing we have to do is to be security conscious wherever we are and mind who you listen to. Let us hear this thing for the sake of those who did not follow up the program.
Hello and welcome. This is kind of an unusual thing for Jihad Watch video, but it is indeed, I think, something that is of tremendous interest to a great many people, especially to those interested in the phenomenon of the persecution of Christians and wanting to resist it. Today, we have as a very special guest, Dr. Ngozi Orabueze, who is Deputy Prime Minister of the United States of Biafra. Welcome, Dr. Orabueze.
Thank you so much, Robert Spencer.
Thank you. Thank you for being here. I have to tell you right off, though, there's quite a bit of controversy about this. And so I thought, why don't we address this right away and clear the decks. In the first place, I wanted to emphasize that I, of course, am not Biafran, obviously, and I am here speaking about this issue because of the connection of Biafra and its independence to the persecution of Christians. So I'm not endorsing any group. I'm not endorsing any group either. But many people are upset. And the problem on Twitter or X is that you can't really tell who these people are or if they are who they claim to be. But some of them are saying you are not who you claim to be. And so could you please, in the first place, tell us who you are claiming to be and why we should pay attention?
You see, from the statement this man made, you see the damages that people are causing. This very program was meant to present Biafra to the world and our plight. But before this program, just as I said, I was among the first people that went to the very platform to check if it is on. Then I saw the messages that were written by some people, some idiots who went and began to write and say that this man was actually responding to here. That made him to begin to speak in the manner he spoke, that the Deputy Prime Minister should introduce herself and tell the world who she is. That some people are saying that people are not whom they claim to be and all that. The people who are saying it are your some fellow Biafrans who knows truly that the Deputy Prime Minister, the COS, is the next person in line after Mazi Simon Ekpa, and that she's standing in for the Biafran people. They all know this. They know it very well. But when they go to their X, when they go to their platform, what they do is to begin to denigrate the same Biafra they claim to protect. And these are idiots that don't have a portfolio. They don't have any credentials. Even morally, they don't have any moral stand to speak or do anything for anybody. But what they do is they go on comment section. Wherever they hear, they were doing the same thing to Mazi Simon when Mazi Simon was around. Some of them were doing it. Before Mazi Simon goes to a program, they will go there and begin to push blackmail and propaganda. That was why one of the time Mazi Simon could say he's not going to release one of the offices in Finland where he was submitting documents. He said he's not going to tag the people nor release their information, because when he does, that some of these idiots will go on the comment section and begin to attack them and speak to them. The same thing they were doing during the time of Mazi Simon Ekpa, that is what they are still doing today. Wherever our Deputy Prime Minister is going to extend the message of Biafra, to speak on behalf of Biafra, to bring the plight of the Biafran people to the world, it does not matter who is, even if she's not the Deputy Prime Minister. Why will you go and attack a Biafran that is speaking on an international platform to speak about the situation of your people and bring the plight of your people to the whole world? Why would you go there and begin to contend it? Why would you go there and begin to demoralize the person or begin to talk bad against the person? Why? This is what the people who claim to be fighting for your Biafra are doing. People who claim to fight for you, people that don't have a moral stand, do not have even a portfolio to present, do not have any qualification anywhere. But what they do is that they have their smartphone. They are watching to see where you want to hold a program, and they will go there and they will begin to write trash. The same thing they do. Some of us, they write us on our private mails. They come and they write on a private mail. Sometimes on my platform here, you see them on the comment section. And when you give them a link to come on and speak as a man, come on and speak and engage, they will not. It is sad, but we must continue.
Yeah, thank you so much, Robert Spencer. It's not about me claiming to be. I'm not claiming to be anything. I'm going to let you and whoever is listening know who I am. My name is Dr. NgoziOrabueze. I'm the Chief of Staff and the Deputy Prime Minister to the newly declared United States of Biafra.
Thank you. And now, because I'm sure you're aware, in the United States and also in the West in general, there is a great deal of ignorance about Nigeria, about Biafra, about West Africa in general. Could you please fill us in about what is Biafra, what is the United States of Biafra, and what you are trying to do and why?
Thank you so much for that question. The United States of Biafra was a nation between 1967 and 1970. We were an independent nation. And we fought a brutal war with Nigeria between that period. At that time, we had our leader, Emeka Odumegwu Ojukwu. So after that war between 1967 and 1970, when the war ended, the persecutions, the problems that existed at that period still existed to date. Problems such as marginalization, the killing of Christians, the lack of freedom, so many things going on against the indigenous people of Nigeria, of which Biafra, United States of Biafra, is one of them. So all this while, we were thinking there'll be a change. Several leaders in the past have thought there'll be a shift in making Nigeria one nation. But over the years, it has proved abortive based on several things that have been going on that have made the life of an indigenous Nigeria a risk. Let me just put it that way. So on November 29th, 2024, United States of Biafra, all Biafra indigenes from across the world, we gathered in Finland, in Lahti, Finland, to redeclare the United States of Biafra. We've conducted a self-referendum where over 50 million Biafrans have voted to exit Nigeria. We have met all the criteria as an independent nation, which we had before actually, between 1967 and 1970. So we have to redeclare that state in November last year. So that is where Biafra stands right now. We are a sovereign nation with a government in exile and a government in homeland with 40 states in Biafra territory. So that is where we are right now.
Thank you. Now, let me ask you, though, you said that the Declaration of Independence was made in Finland. And so, obviously, it was not made in Biafra. What is the status of your movement inside Biafra itself? Okay.
So it was a concurrent event because we already have an established structure inside Biafra. We have the 40 state administrators, whom we call governors right now. We have 15 counties in each of the state. And then we have the districts and we have the wards. So while we were in Finland declaring the United States of Biafra, there were activities also in homeland, in all the 40 states of the Biafra, doing almost similar things that we were doing. So we have a very strong relationship between the United States of Biafra government, from the Biafra Republic government in exile, and the homeland de facto government. We work together.
I see. And so I understand, however, that immediately upon the Declaration of Independence, the Prime Minister of the United States of Biafra, Simon Ekpa, was arrested in Finland. Is that correct?
No, actually, it was done before the declaration, just about a week or 2 weeks before all Biafrans assembled in Finland. The Prime Minister, Simon Ekpa, was arrested by the Finnish authorities. It will happen before the declaration, not after.
Is he still in custody?
He is.
Oh my. And I find that interesting, especially in light of the fact that another group, the indigenous people of Biafra, its leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, is also in prison. And what is the relationship between your group and his?
Nnamdi Kanu is the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra. Our Prime Minister for the United States of Biafra is Simon Ekpa. That is the relationship.
Well, I hope that Biafra will be able to proceed in a manner that is not done in by any internal factions. In any case, can you please explain to us what is...
There was something that the man said here after our Deputy Prime Minister explained the relationship between our Supreme Leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and our Prime Minister Mazi Simon Ekpa. Maybe he didn't understand well. You know, when you are explaining things, certain times he might get things, explanation wrong. He said that he hopes that there will not be any faction, there will not be any infighting or whatever the way he described it after the restoration of Biafra in the future. And which is also what some other people have been asking in the past. Even in the zoo, they have used it as a program that Mazi Simon Ekpa is going to be wrestling with Mazi Nnamdi Kanu when he comes out and all that. And that will never happen. Mazi Simon Ekpa, in most of his programs, have said it, that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the supreme leader of IPOB, always have his place in the government of Biafra. We are talking about the government. When you talk about the indigenous people of Biafra, one thing everyone should know, that every single one of us, we are the indigenous people of Biafra. Everybody in the government of Biafra, in the United States of Biafra, we are all part of the indigenous people of Biafra. We are the indigenous people. We are. And the overall leader we have, the supreme leader, is Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Our prime minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa. There is no debate about that. There is no contradiction about that. Just like in Iran, you have their supreme leader, Ayo Khamenei, who is there. And also they have their president, and they have, is it their president of Iran? And there are so many people also who operate in that level. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, though himself said he's not going to be either the president or whatever, that is a decision he made in the past. Maybe he's going to change his mind in time of future when he sees how things are going. But in this time, Biafra will be run by a government, and somebody is going to be in charge of that government. The government of Biafra today is under the control of our prime minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa, who is a follower of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, a hardcore follower of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. His disciple, he called himself a disciple. He has never removed it. He called himself a disciple for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. So there is nothing has changes, or nothing is going to be a hindrance or something of dragging of post or whatever. It will not happen. It will not. Go ahead.
Yeah. Do you think that based on the answer from Dr. NgoziOrabueze, do you think that Robert Spencer quite understand based on the answer? Because she did well, but I was thinking that because the question was a little bit more specific in the sense that he said, what is the difference? I think that the question was, what's the difference between Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's group and your own group? Because he's a neutral person. He doesn't know details about what is going on. So one would have expected that the answer will be, there's no difference. We are one. He is the supreme leader, the leader of indigenous people of Biafra, and Mazi Simon Ekpa is the prime minister. I think that would have been, but I hope, she answered, she did great. No, make no mistake. But I just hope that Robert Spencer, understands that there is no difference, because it is obvious for anybody with even the slightest truth in them to know that there's no difference between Simon Ekpa and Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. And I can also guarantee that moving forward, there's not going to be any difference, because it's just the same. Now, if you talk in terms of nations being fully actualized and established or validated, consolidated, yes, there usually will be fractions here and there. It happens with every nation. Even Finland, when they fought a severe bloody war to get their independence from Russia. And after which, they had internal strife too. It's normal. But over time, things get sorted out and everybody get on with it. So I cannot thank Dr. NgoziOrabueze enough. She's doing great. And like I said, we just have to keep praying for her while we are making our effort in whichever way, little or whatever. But we must continue to put her in prayer because, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you very much. She did amazingly well. And the question was the relationship between Mazi Simon Ekpa and Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. This is an interview, and we know they have limited time. And she was trying to use her time wisely to be able to accommodate it how it would be. Even before the program, she also complained about the time and all that. So, and I believe she just hit the point the way it should be. And by telling the man about maybe all he has to do is to do some little inquiries about the indigenous people of Biafra, the leader of the indigenous people, and the leader of the government. The government of the Biafra people, the government of Biafra is the government of Biafra is I can say is under the indigenous people. It is the indigenous people that make up the government of Biafra. So by the time he goes back to look into the indigenous people of Biafra and the government, he will see that these are one people. It is the same people that are on this very place. There is no difference in them. Thank you so much. And let us go forward on this.
The relationship between this Declaration of Independence and this very newly independent state and the persecution of Christians that has been ongoing in Nigeria.
Thank you so much for that question. The persecution of Christians in Nigeria has been very troublesome. It has been very, very sad. The recent IRF summit that happened in Washington, D.C., Nigeria was declared as one of the deadliest places for Christians to live, with a report of over 10,000 Christians killed in Nigeria. So we have a country where they practice two laws: Sharia law in the northern part of Nigeria, and then the secular law in the other parts of Nigeria. And if you are a Christian born in the northern part of Nigeria, you are forced to live by the Sharia rules. You may remember the case of Deborah, the undergraduate that was stoned to death just because she made a statement to the effect that Jesus Christ helped me. And then the Muslim extremists around her were able to pursue her, drag her out from the teacher's office where she went to, and they stoned her to death, and they burned her. This is just one incident. There are several incidences where Christians are murdered and buried in mass graves in Nigeria because the Nigerian state has a policy to reintegrate and rehabilitate non-terrorists into the Nigerian state. So when you are a government and you reintegrate non-terrorists into the country, what kind of country are you going to be building? So you have situations where the reintegrated terrorists, they take over the indigenous people's community, especially the Christian communities, like in Southern Kaduna, in Jos, in Plateau, in Biafra land. Recently, between December 2024 and today, we've had over hundreds of Christians that were killed in Biafra land by the Fulani terrorists and the reintegrated terrorists wearing Nigerian military and police uniform. This is what the Christians go through in Nigeria over the years. There is no solution. There is no comment from the government. Everybody just turns a deaf ear. And that was part of the reason why the United States of Biafra has declared their independence, because we cannot continue to live in a country where the government reintegrates non-terrorists into the police, into the military, and send them down to the Biafra territory to kill anyone that talks about Biafra, anyone that talks about their independence. And mostly, all Biafrans are Christians. So that's what's been going on. There's several instances too.
So you are saying, am I understanding you correctly, that the Nigerian federal government is actively aiding the jihad terrorists?
Definitely, by reintegrating non-terrorists into the country.
Do you think that this is a connection to the fact that the former president was a Fulani himself?
Again, over the years, in the past leadership in Nigeria, we have had more of these Islamic leaders that have ruled Nigeria. So if you have been, I know as you are aware, Nigeria is supposed to be a secular state where we have equal representation of both Christians and Muslims. But the country is now an Islamic state. It was declared as an Islamic state by Britain without the permission of the Christians. So Nigeria has been dragged into the IOC without the permission of the Christians. So there has been a systemic plan to Islamize the country where we are really right now. So it has been like that, and that is what is really going on, which has led to the loss of life of so many Christians and innocent indigents inside Nigeria.
Yes. Thank you. with the leader of your movement in prison and Kanu in prison, what are the real prospects, though, for you being able to establish a genuinely independent state that is free from interference from the Nigerian government and military?
Thank you so much for that question. So we've been following all the allowed laws that guide the establishment of a new nation. We have our geographical area already mapped out. We've been building alliances with countries like the Eritrean government in exile, the Ambazonia government, and several other countries that really recognized Biafra between 1967 and 1970, but never ever surrendered or say they no longer support us. So those alliances have been built. And we are following every step as a nation with the cabinet already set up, following all the due process to ensure that we go through the legal processes for United States of Biafra to be recognized as one of the newest independent nations in the world. So we are going through the allowed legal process by the United Nations, by the African Charter. All that is being put in place at this time to make our country recognized all over the world.
So have you received any positive responses from the UN or from other states, or the United States for that matter?
Again, all that is in process. Just remember, we just declared our independence in November 2024. So our legal department are putting all the right papers in the right table to ensure that those recognitions come. But like I said, we already got a couple of recognitions from some of our allies, and we are the nation was invited during the Donald Trump inauguration. We were in Washington, D.C., of which Nigeria was never invited. And I believe there's several human rights reports about the injustices, the abuse of human rights, the killing of Christians, both by the United Nations, by the African Union, and other bodies. So we are in the process of doing that, and we're getting a lot of positive response in building a very free nation, devoid of jihadism, devoid of persecution, where human rights are respected, where people rights are also respected. So we are in the course of doing that right now.
You know, that's fascinating. Did you say that the Trump administration invited your group to the inauguration and not the Nigerian government?
Yes. Nigerian government was not there. And if you recently, Trump has cut off the U.S. aid to Nigeria, about $1.2 billion that they send to Nigeria every year. That has been cut off. It has been stopped because the abuse by the Nigerian government is huge. But at every step, they have used the network they have either in Europe or in France to suppress the freedom of indigenous Nigeria, especially the Biafrans. So even the United, when they arrested the leader, Nnamdi Kanu, there was a committee set up by the United Nations to look into the case because Nigerian government planned and they kidnapped Nnamdi Kanu from Kenya to Nigeria. Nnamdi Kanu has been in DSS dungeon now for almost 5 years, going to 5 years. Even though there was a committee on the arbitrary detention of innocent citizens, that committee of the United Nations sat and they ordered Nigeria to release Nnamdi Kanu and compensate him. To today, that has not happened. So these human rights abuses is what even in the United Nations Committee on Human Rights 2 years ago, when Nigeria applied to be part of that committee, Nigeria got only about 2 or 3 votes. Countries like Ghana, countries like Kenya are making huge impact in the areas of human rights, in the areas of freedom of their citizens. But Nigeria has been it's just a failed state, has been deteriorating by the second.
Yes, that does seem clear. And it's an excellent sign, really, to get that invitation from Trump because Trump, of course, has very clearly set out a path since he's become president again of trying to establish a new order in the world, not a new world order, which is what the other people are all about, but try to end some of the madness of the United States giving aid to failed terror states such as the government of Nigeria and the Palestinians and so on, and instead aiding genuine struggles of indigenous peoples for
Mazima pause go there, can I analyze ya?
that will be followed through by.
Go ahead.
Okay, I'm trying analysis on what has been said so far. I mean,
everything she has been saying now is just very clear, and the only thing I can say is that from all indication, when you see what she was saying, she tried as much as possible to present the most things that matter to us, more especially the detention of our leaders. She, through the platform, she was able to bring in the case of Mazi Simon Ekpa, and she elaborated on it, and also she dragged the case of Mazi Nandegano in and spoke up about it. And again, the issue of our recognition, and which Trump is one of the people we are hoping that somehow something is going to come up there. And also the man also opened up about the issue, the strategy of Trump, which most of us have seen online. There was one I saw in one of the investigations that was done by, they said it was, Elon Musk. There was one responsible that was Elon Musk, and he was able to expose the terrorist organizations that the United States have been sponsoring for a long time. Yes. Many of these terrorist countries and organizations, we are being sponsored. Up to date, United States of America is still paying money to them, giving them money.
Yes. Yes.
But look at the Christian countries across the world that have been persecuted and suffering. They never paid attention.
Yeah.
They come to Africa, they will force you to either be change your status and become to support LGBT before they can be able to give you anything. But it is on record that they are sponsoring and giving aid to well-known terrorist countries and organizations.
Yeah.
It is sad. When I saw that very investigation, it is sad that it happened. But that is it. It is what it is. And you see, this is why we have always talked about the issue of Trump. It's not that Trump is going to give us Biafra. It's not
no.
But there are some policy he's going to put in place that is going to be positive to our
enhance. Exactly. So
that is why we are very happy about his appearance. That's it. Go ahead and say what you want to say.
Yeah. So obviously, there's absolutely no reason why American government should be paying huge sums of money, billions, to nations like Nigeria and some others who are diverting these monies are meant to do the right thing, but they are diverting it into their terrorist sponsorship. And one way or the other, the arms and the ammunition that the terrorists that they get and everything they are all tied together. And oh, by the way, why will a country that is as rich as Nigeria is, in a real sense of it, be getting this money while the so-called president, if he cares about the people at all, he came into office and he started bought a jet, a new or whatever private jet, cost billions and millions or billions in naira, and he went and bought one of the most expensive. Huh?
Go ahead. He bought a jet and a yacht also for himself and other things.
And the Jeep, one of the most expensive Jeep currently he bought. Now, you ask yourself, why would if you really came in to help out the deprived, the impoverished people, and you are asking them to tighten their belts, why are you losing yours? How does that work? And he kept on increasing the salaries and allowances of the judges who will help him to carry out his gangsterism and criminality, and the other politicians, they just keep. So it's crazy. Trump, Jesus Christ, he has done so well so far with Elon Musk. Even though there's a point I would like to make, but if it's not fine, if it's not okay, I may just let it go. But so far, I endorse, I second every move made by Trump, because these are evil criminals promoting Islamic terrorism and Sharia to force people into, and even the treasonous behavior, the treasonous act of Buhari in a sense society, Buhari will be languishing in imprisonment as we speak, because he came in, all the while he cried, and all the desperation, all the effort he made to become Nigerian president. 3 times he contested. Little did anybody know that his coming was not to do right by the people, but to steal and to open up that corridor of Islamization and Fulanization. That was his primary objective, because immediately when he came in, he opened the border and he said that all the Fulanis can come into the country. And in fact, a sitting governor there said, when he was asked, he said that this is their objective, that is like more like a program to bring in all the Fulanis, Marudas from the Sahel and settle them in Nigeria. Now, when they came in and they started this, buying here and there, the things they engaged in against the indigenous people, and when Buhari was again asked, what are you doing about this? These are Fulani herdsmen, the level of killing here and there, and all he could say was that they should go and find a way to make peace with their killers. If that is not a textbook definition of treason, I don't know what it is, because as a president, you swore an oath to protect life and properties of the people. But here you are, not only exposing them, you are actively supporting the terrorists from who are not Nigerians to come in just because they are your tribesmen. It's incredible. So it's just absolutely incredible. I don't know. Let's just listen on further. Then maybe later on I will say what I wanted to say about Trump and Elon Musk, which I wholeheartedly endorsed. Right? So yeah.
Thank you. You're welcome, my brother Greg. Thank you for joining us, Greg. Give us a speech before we continue to play the program.
Good morning, my brother Chus and all the brothers in the house. Thank you this morning, and thank you for giving me this opportunity. Yesterday I just watched this interview of our sister, Dr. Ngozi. For me, she did very wonderful, because she put every single matters on the table on this interview for the world to understand. This is what we are expecting, and we expect more of such an interview. To any interview that will bring the Biafra trouble, dehumanizing, and suppression, killings that is going on in our land to the international community. It doesn't matter as long as it's an international interview, not like the one that she wanted to go before. That cannot bring anything. Instead, the same negative people that are more listening to that interview of our so-called brother. So, in this very issue, just like you first pointed it out, that what the man is noticing in Biafra agitation, what the man first noticed is the groups. And what are these evil people trying to present to the world? What they want to present to the world is Biafra cannot rule themselves. So why must you support them? That is the narrative. Even the DOS have now gone to the extent that this so-called Nkerem and his group have gone. Since this government have been formed, Chinese and Waru have not come out to support the government, neither did she oppose it. Chigodeze have not come out to oppose the government, attack it in any way. But these people that are being sponsored to go to Finland to stop the government agitation are the people who are attacking every single thing that is being done. So, and what else what evidence again do you need? Immediately when Simon Ekpan was invited, the armies on the ground, he automatically stopped working. That time nobody have even known what is going on. They start action not knowing that there was a gang up to stop the declaration. Until everything started unfolding, we started knowing where the directions and where they're going. So this time around, and the people who supposed by now seeing us being together without nobody struggling for position and power. By now, everybody's supposed to be hearing what is happening on the ground, that the Biafrans stand on their feet for their independence. There is nothing like division. But today, what are we seeing? The world is started noticing, asking question, are you sure that you people will not go in groups and start fighting a different war, internal war? That is where the man is coming from. But I thank God that for them that is in Christ are more in majority. Yes. So that is the message. The main message in this, for me, the highest message in this particular interview is that point that this man spotted out from that I hope that these things cannot happen. And God will not let it happen, because that is where I cry every day. That someone who called himself a general in a Biafra army will say, I stop people from fighting because of a position.
What a shame.
Or because a private person who did not or have not ever attacked you in anywhere. But somebody asks you that you people have to stop, or let's give power come to our own side. Then you are not a freedom fighter. I will continue saying it. So now there is no other thing than to continue where we are going. We pray that this American government will continue where the direction they are going. Because what you understand, what you must know is, some of all these I'm coming, okay, coming. So, what are they trying to do? What are they trying to do? All these international leaders, you know, some of them are not corrupt in their land, but when they come outside in anything foreign relationship, you will know that they're very corrupt. Some of them, especially some of them, their president and their foreign ministers and their embassies, when they get to Nigeria, you will ask somebody like what do you call it, the former American president, this recent former American president, Joe Biden. Had Joe Biden been a businessman, so what kind of thing would Biden be to turn into a millionaire? And look at this, what do you call him, the Blinken. For a Blinken that called himself a Christian, to see all the evils that have been happening in Biafra land, what did Blinken say when he interviewed him? He said all those things that you see in Africa, most of them are propaganda. That's what the man said. Because when he come, the first thing they will give them, they promise them criminal oil, money laundering and oil and gas. They will be having a private business to enrich themselves in a foreign land. That is the only thing. So tell me why somebody like Blinken will say that all those killings in Biafra land and in Nigeria have been a propaganda, which the whole world we see. So that is the problem we are facing. So I hope that this Trump will see the reality and do the needful for the oppressed people. So that is the main key for us to support Donald Trump. The Western people are more corrupt. The Europe is devilish corrupt. Devilish corrupt. Europe is too much corrupt. I'm telling you. But their corruption cannot work much in their whole land, because their people are ready to kill them. Just as they wanted to kill Trump. Their people are ready to go after them by all means if they do any evil. So because of that, they cannot be corrupt in their land. But when they go outside land, they corrupt foreign lands in order to get something to bring home. So that's their system. So we see where the whole thing is going. So thank you, my brother. I'm here. I'm still listening to contribute more.
Thank you so much.
By this administration in terms of genuine support for the struggle of the people of Biafra and aid for them to be able to establish their independence. What do you think of the prospects, however, on a more negative note, unfortunately, of a war starting like the war that took place between 1967 and 70?
Thank you so much, and I thank you for that comment. Where the expectation of Biafrans is we get the support from the United States of America, and again, we already see some signs to that, and we are very, very happy at where we are right now. In the area of the war breaking out, or what happened between 1967 and now, I have to let you know that is a different scenario right now. So many things have changed in the area of the information that the world have right now on what Biafrans went through between 1967 and 1970. There's a lot of awareness right now that's been created by Biafrans all over the world that we all need to go home and develop our nation. Unlike in the past, where there is suppression, there's limited information of what is happening inside the Biafra territory. During the 1967 to 1970 war, Nigeria carried out a mass starvation of innocent kids. We are over 3 million, and almost 3 to 5 million innocent Biafrans were starved to death because they didn't have the right information. Some of the countries in the world didn't even know what is happening. So many things have changed. We don't expect that. The killings that have been done by the Nigerian state on a daily basis, even as of 2 days ago, some of the images are so gory. And when you see the pattern of these killings are patterned after jihadism, after the terrorism, because Biafrans are by nature very, it is difficult for Biafrans to spill blood. But what happens is that the delegitimized Nigerian governors that are occupying the Biafra territory in the southeast and south part of Nigeria, working collaboratively with the Nigerian state, they ship all these killers, all these mercenaries into the Biafra land. So the world has more information right now on what is happening in Biafra territory. That is why the way we are going about it right now is definitely going to be different from what obtained between 1967 and 1970.
I certainly hope so. And in conclusion, what would you say to the Christians and other people of goodwill around the world about the struggle of the people of Biafra today?
Thank you so much for that question. Christians in Nigeria are begging to leave. We are begging to leave. People are attacked in their homes with guns, with AK-47, with machetes. People are butchered while they are sleeping. Innocent children are butchered. Women and girls are raped in the bushes. Christians cannot converge and practice their religion securely and safely in Biafra land and in other parts of Nigeria. What I have to say is that we have to be persistent. We have to carve out a country where both Christians and Muslims have the right to exist without anyone killing each other. But what happens in Nigeria is that you have a country where there is an agenda to Islamize the whole country. And this plan is being perpetuated, is being carried out by the Nigerian state. Currently, the Prime Minister of the United States of Biafra is being detained and incarcerated in Finland by the Finnish authority on a very flimsy excuse that Simon Ekpa, who is our Prime Minister, is inciting Biafrans. How can you incite people that are just begging to leave? People that are killed by their hundreds every day. And we have our leader, Prime Minister Simon Ekpa, Nigerian government, through their Foreign Affairs Minister, Bianca Ojukwu, has just laid up some truncated charges against our Prime Minister, and Finland arrested him just 2 weeks before we declared our independence. But Biafrans, mostly who are Christians, we were resolute. we all converged in Finland. We were able to declare our independence despite Finland holding our prime minister to truncate that process. So that shows that you cannot just defeat an ideology. We are Christians. We are begging to live. We do not want to live in a country whose policy is to rehabilitate and reintegrate non-terrorists like Boko Haram into the military, into the police. Nothing is secure. So I encourage Biafrans to be resolute. I encourage Christians all over Nigeria to be resolute. We have to stick our ground and ensure that it is okay for self-determination. It is okay for self-defense. These are rights that are guaranteed by the United Nations, by the African Charter. But the Nigerian government, as is currently constituted, is trying to take that freedom away from us. So we are not going to back down. It is our right to choose who is going to be our leader. It is our right to defend our people from the reintegrated terrorists that are coming to kill us. It is our right to go back and develop Biafra land. By the declaration we've done, we are going to go home and practice our religion and not be scared. Just as it happens in near Ebonyi State a few days ago, where people were in the church and they came in and gunned down almost 30 people. Just like that, including innocent children. These children did not commit any crime. Their crime is just to exist in a nation called Nigeria. How long are we going to be forced to live in a country where the president never make any statement to these killings? No remorse. The governor's nothing. All the governor did was do not retaliate. How long are they going to continue to tell us do not retaliate? And we are massacred by the day, by the night. So we are pursuing the course, our freedom to self-defend our land, to self-defend our people, using every legal available means to ensure that our people are not murdered every single day.
Excellently stated, and thank you. I would observe that the government of Finland is acting like Western governments all over Europe as well as North America. They don't have any idea of the jihad. They don't have any idea what they're doing to their own countries by bringing in massive numbers of Muslim migrants. They will be facing the same thing that Biafrans are facing today in the future because of their short-sighted actions. And so I applaud you and thank you for calling upon Christians, upon Biafrans, upon all free people to be resolute. This is something that we all need to take to heart and be of good courage. Dr. NgoziOrabueze, thank you very much for speaking with me, for bringing attention to these all-important issues. And I wish you and the Biafran people all success. May God bless your efforts and prosper them and enable you to establish a strong and independent state that will withstand all pressures from outside. Thank you very much again.
Thank you so much, Robert Spencer, for having me. Thank you so much, and may God bless all of us.
Thank you again, and until next time, everyone, pray, hope, and don't worry.
Thank you so much.
So that is the end of the message, and it was cleared and done and dusted. And I believe that every one of us that followed the program had exactly what transpired. The main message is to propagate the plight of Biafrans to the whole world. Defend Biafra, speak on behalf of Biafra. But it is sad that the people that claim to be fighting for our freedom are fighting against the message of Biafra. When you want to go out and tell the world the true situation of things in Biafra land, they come after you. The same people that said that they are fighting for it is sad. It is, and yet you see some people still asking who is on the right path, who is on the wrong path, who is doing the right thing and who is not doing the right thing. Just like somebody who is meant to defend you will come and say, I will not defend you unless you make me the Alpha and the Omega. I will not defend you unless you, because you did not exalt me above every other person. That is why I will not defend you. And somebody will shamelessly open his mouth and say that. And yet, people are not worried. You'll be paying attention and listen to such clowns. I believe we have learned our lesson and we'll learn it in a very hard way. And we will not continue to allow ourselves to be played. Wherever you are today as a Biafran, you must know that where we are today is to defend our land. In that defense, if you know what you can apply by your own self to keep yourself safe, do it. Self-defense is your right. Without being told, you must have to know that self-defense is your right. Mazen Nandekano called for it. Mazen Simon Ekpa called for it. And today, it has been officially made as passed to law by the Biafran government. And why some people are just arguing and talking is because they are not following up. Many people that are arguing about this very self-defense are not following up. Because if you're following up, you know that Mazen Nandekano himself called for it. Mazen Simon called for it. It was only passed to law today under the United States of Biafra because we have a government. But ignorant people, mischievous people, will still come and they begin to talk trash. And some of you will go and begin to listen. That is why I say mind the people you listen to. Mind the platforms you go. Mind the places you go. There are places you can get your information from. And whatever information you get, apply your common sense, digest it. Be slow to speak. Don't just talk because other people are talking. When you hear an information or you hear, just pause for a minute. Pause and think before you talk. Some of us, we don't even think before we talk. Just because people are talking, you raise your hand and you come to talk. Just because people are on their camera, you on your own and you speak. Pause a little while. Apply your common sense and think about every single statement you make. If you are convinced that you have a superior argument, only then and then you can speak, just like so many have been saying in the past. And this is my problem with those of them in the Zoological Republic that are Biafrans. They were calling for the head of Mazen Nandekano. They planned to kidnap Mazen Nandekano. He was kidnapped. And today, the Zoological Republic is on fire. The terrorists are taking over. They call for the head of Mazen Simon Ekpa. They called and called and called. They say Mazen Simon Ekpa is the problem. The same way they said Mazen Nandekano is the problem. They say Mazen Simon is the problem. Take him out. They take him out. Today, it is happening. And you will see that they will come back online again and say, oh, you said it's Mazen Simon Ekpa that is aware is the problem. Now he's not around. And the same thing is still happening. Why don't you do? We told you that it is the government. You didn't believe. You joined the enemy to take away your brother. When you join the enemy to fight against your own freedom, at the end of the day, you come to cry and you expect me to listen to you. Bunch of clowns and idiots. And today, some of them in Nigerian media, what they are doing is some of us who have been in the media, people that I have had joint media section with, today, they are doing exactly the same thing the Janjaweed media is doing. Let us hear this.
Please, your security men are in the Southeast. Is there any time the Igbo say, look, oh, these people, they should not do their work, they should not secure the Southeast? If there is insecurity in the Southeast, then the federal government should be held accountable. Because that was the clamor, Simon Ekpa, and that's why we say, arrest him, detain him, and prosecute him. Let us now see or know those unknown government in the Southeast, who are they? The federal government should not answer us. All this propaganda is coming home now. If there is any insecurity in the Southeast, the federal government should not tell us who is behind it. Because IPOP has made it categorically clear that they can't kill any Igbo man. So let them go and tell us who is that person in the South that is causing this problem. How can you call somebody unknown government? Remember, it was the federal government that called them unknown government. Because this propaganda now, we are beginning to unravel it. And let them tell us who is now giving them order. Or is this someone in prison? It cannot be Nnamdi Kanu. You and I know that. So who are they acting on their order for people to sit?
This is how they roll. These are the people who will stay in their platform. They will castigate Mazen Simon Ekpa. They say, bring him and kill him. They were the one of those who wrote and campaigned for the kidnapping of Mazen Simon. Today, they are still crying online. They are still crying. So initially, didn't know it was the government.
Mm-hmm.
You join them and you kidnap your own brother. You join them and you stop your own brother. You join them and you crucify your own brother. And today, you are saying, you say he's the one. Now he's not there. So you didn't know he wasn't the one. When he was telling you that he wasn't the one, you didn't believe him. You believe your enemy. And today you are crying. You are not crying. And this same thing he's doing is what some people today who are with us in this struggle are doing. Those of them who have broken away. The same people I stay on the same platform and I had joint brokers with them. We stood on the same meeting and we heard from Mazen Simon Ekpa in meetings. Today, they are the one today standing and saying, that the legacy of Mazi Simon cannot be upheld. They will come and say, protecting who is the one protecting the mandate. Is it the same mandate that Mazi Simon explained to us in ABC in our meetings? In public broadcast, the same mandate he said, the mandate is to defend Biafra and protect Biafra and make sure that Biafra is declared and secure. That is the mandate. You talk about the you see the same structure that Mazi Simon told us and showed us in our meetings. He showed us the structure. Look at this, look at this, look at this. Look at the person who follow. Look at what we do. Today they are standing against it. And tomorrow, when something happens, you come and blame, oh, NgoziOrabueze is in this. Oh, NgoziOrabueze. It is sad. But that is the nature of a black man. Chukwu Okabiam will help us to overcome them, and we shall overcome them by the special grace of Chukwu Okabiam. Now, as we are going forward on rounding up on the program, let us hear from our brother Kochux. Kochux, let's start from you. If you are still there, Kochux, let's hear from you. Give us your word, including with your closing remark while we are rounding up. We are almost 3 hours. It's weekend, so that people can be able to go and prepare themselves for the weekend. Kochux, are you there? If you are there, let's hear from you. Unmute yourself.
Yes, I'm here. I'm still here.
Go on.
Let's hear you. Thank you, Mazi Chus. And thank you for the clearing, for the advice that you have been giving us so far. The only thing that I wanted to even say again about the whole thing that is happening now, the only advice that I can even give is not another one that just to advise our people, all those at the whole land, because this is exactly time. The bill has been passed for self-defense. If anybody that know anything that he can use to defend himself and his family, this is the right time for him to bring it up. Because everything is not where you carry AK-47. Everything is not like that. The self-defense you're talking about is not when you carry AK-47. You can defend yourself in any way. You can defend yourself in any way that you can, that is a priest to you. That you can even say, yes, this is the way that I wanted to defend my family. I wanted to use this same way to defend my community. You can even make a suggestion to your kindred that the bill has been passed, and you can even organize a village security that you're going to be. That is not when, but is not the time that you are going to organize the village community. That you guys say until you go and collect permission from any governor or from any king, any PG in the community before you can defend yourself. You can defend yourself in any way. And this is the right time. Everybody have to stand up. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Coach. Thank you for that very submission. I appreciate you for that. Thank you so much. Let's go to our brother Christian. Go ahead and give us your word.
Okay. So I was that man, Darlington. Obviously, he is one of those that all these years been castigating Simon Ekpa, and so obviously the question is, now that they succeeded in his arrest or whatever, they've now come to, for whatever reason, it's obvious now that the government have a hand in all everything going on. So can they now, do they have the power to hold the government to account? That is the question. No, they don't. It's all what they will do is stay on the line and talk with nothing to show for it, while the Fulani terrorists continue in their onslaught. So you see, that is why sometimes you don't listen to people, you do what you have to do. Because at the end of the day, they have nothing to offer. And that is what PM has done all the while. He never cared. Whatever you like to say, time will justify, and time is justifying already. Then what I wanted to say much earlier is that though Trump is new also in the office, about a month or even less than that, and he has a lot on his plate, a lot. But I still feel like, because this Elon Musk, he's a South African, European South African. So they are they are calling out South African government, and there's a lot going on, sanctions and stuff like that, which I understand. And I think to an extent, I quite agree. Why do I say that? Because South Africa, they go about prosecuting the Jewish nation of Israel, bringing indictment to Israel. Meanwhile, in their own backyard, in a continent of Africa, Biafrans over the years has continued to be subjected to all form of inhuman mass. I mean, come on now. There's no South African president, past or present, that does not know what has been going on. Millions and millions of Biafrans has been killed by this Nigerian system. A bloody war was fought. Why is it so hard for South African government to talk about what goes on in Nigeria? Oh, because they are not the one being affected. So they are busy looking at what is going on between Israel and the Palestinians, they are both fighting to safeguard themselves. Israel is fighting for their more like existential problem they have to deal with. South Africa did not. Lots of Biafrans in South Africa, they never have I heard or seen South African government called Nigerian government to order. They were there for 8 years. Buhari was engages in treasonous offense, South Africa never called him to, South Africa never pressed to bring Nigerian government to ICC about the genocide they embark upon against Biafra year in, year out. But the big picture I'm trying to paint is that, and like I said, Trump is just sitting in a lot in his plate, but at the same time, I would expect him at some point to speak about the genocide, what Christians are going through in Nigeria, particularly the Biafrans, whom every time, if Trump wins, they get attacked, whatever. If Israel does something, Biafrans bear the brunt. That has been going on. But thank goodness, for some time now, that seems to have kind of subsided. I don't know why, but initially we experienced it that if there's something happens, that concerns Western world like Israel, America, or Christian, Biafran bear the brunt, supported by the government. So at some point, I will expect, even like as I still say, okay, he just came in, but at some point I will expect him to call the government to order. Then the Kanu has to be released, because Nigeria has disobeyed every law known to man regarding Nnamdi Kanu, and Simon Ekpa, who was one of the first, if not the first, that endorsed him. So that is the point. But it's good that people who will listen, we are saying these things, because you never know who listens and how far does it go. Thank you so much, my brother, and have a nice weekend.
Thank you so much. And when you talked about that issue of South Africa, it reminds me of thing. South Africa has not even sorted the problem of xenophobia. The people that they have, innocent blacks that they have killed in their country, they haven't even sorted it out.
Okay.
They have not even solved the problem of xenophobia. The innocent people, Biafra, innocent Africans, they are murdering. They are not even concerned about that. Later, they are talking about some terrorists far out somewhere.
Yeah.
Don't mind those people. My beloved brother Greg, let's hear your remark, Greg. Let's get your word, Greg, before we call it a day.
Yeah, thank you, my brother. I think the Biafrans are just like I don't know. Even the hate of Israel is not is to compare the hate of the Biafrans in Africa land. And mostly even in Nigeria, because when they asked when Dr. Ngozi said what the governor said, that people should not retaliate, so they kill you from years to years, and the governors will tell you not to retaliate. They are not telling you not to retaliate because they are doing anything significant or whatever to prevent that killings. But they are telling you not to retaliate for them to retain their position in the federal government and in the position, in their positions in Nigeria. So that is evil. The Biafrans must retaliate and prevent that killings. That what is not even retaliating, it's defending themselves. So that is the reason why they have to gang up against Simon Ekpa, because Simon Ekpa have been and giving warnings and warning this kind of killing should stop. And they have been hearing, don't retaliate. At a point, the Biafra have no option than to form army and arm them so that we can defend our position and the lives of properties of our people. And now they gang up against him. The same criminals who are telling you not to retaliate are the ones who gang up against him and arrested him. Now what is happening is the thing have gone to the extreme again. So that is evil. Then when you talk about South Africa, you know, the oil in the Biafra land have been used to fight the freedom of the South Africans. But since this South Africa came into freedom, they have turned against the Biafrans. The Biafrans are the ones who secure them and they give them asylum during the time of apartheid. There are many of them. Even them, the Mandela was in Enugu, as I heard. That was where he took refuge. Yes. So our Biafrans have been any people that will give refuge and will fight for their freedom. At the end of the day, they will turn against us. The man in Kenya he took refuge in Enugu and he turned against Nnamdi Kanu and they rendered Nnamdi Kanu to the Nigerian government. Only from the oils and gas that is coming from the Biafran and they used to fight for them. So the same thing the South Africa is doing today. They have been killing the Igbos in South Africa, killing the Biafrans in South Africa, murdering them, destroying their businesses for the people that they use their wealth and their resources to fight for your freedom. And today, they turn against us. They turn back against the Biafrans. Instead, they went and started looking for how they will persecute Israel because of Palestine. And they warn the people who use their resources, who use their closest brother, you abandon them because you want to please the world. And the people who doesn't have any relationship with you are the ones you are going outside to fight for. So you see that all those things are just the same gang up of the Fulanis in the African territories. Because the African territories is being hijacked by the Islam. That is what you must know. So that is the position. But we will continue fighting. We will not give up, just as Dr. Ngozi said, that we are not going to give up. We will fight to the end. In this time, this is the last time of it. It's either Biafra or nothing. So we must get to the end and the Biafra must come. So that is the message. Thank you.
Thank you so much, my beloved brother. I appreciate you for that very submission. And I thank everyone that has participated on this program today from the beginning to the end. Thank you all for joining me and thank you all for your support. May Chukwu Okike Abiama continue to guide and protect every one of us. I wish every one of us a very happy weekend. Whatever we lay our hand upon shall prosper. We shall all be secured. Everyone that is watching from Biafra land, no evil shall befall you. Wherever you are as a Biafran, stand strong and continue to pray to Chukwu Okike Abiama. While you pray, put action to your prayer. And Chukwu Okike Abiama will show us a way out. What is happening in the Biafra land today, nobody is happy about it. We will continue to secure and protect ourselves. Don't forget self-defense. Don't play with it. Always make sure you stand on and fight for yourself and do what you have to do to defend yourself. Be security conscious at all times, wherever you go. May Chukwu Okike Abiama guide and protect us all as Biafrans. Guide and protect our Deputy Prime Minister, Dr. Ngozi. May Chukwu Okike Abiama guide and protect our Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa. May Chukwu Okike Abiama guide and protect our Supreme Leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. I pray that no weapon formed or fashioned against us shall prosper. Thank you so much for being part of this program and see you again next time. Stay blessed.
Thank you.